Alright, welcome back. We are continuing our full build of the ET48 2.0 Tekno E and on the table here laid out is bag G. And the only thing I have done ahead of time is I cut these arms off the trees. There's a tree on this side and this side, and I use these end cutters to do that. And then if there's any like excess flashing, you can use just a normal X-acto knife to trim those if you need to. So yeah, the first step, the Tekno manual, they have you build the sway bar assembly first. I actually like to build the arm assembly first, so I'm going to start with that. And first thing is putting these little bushings in the arms. And I kind of just start them by hand, and then I use the edge of the table. Sorry, I can't do that on camera. There we go. Edge of the table to push them on, and you just want to make sure there's no gap under there. Push them on all the way. Alright, let's push this one in. Jiminy Christmases. That one does not want to go in. There we go. So we got those in. Next step here is these shorter screws are the Droop screws, and they go in these holes right here. Just make sure you grab the screws. They have a head built into the tip, so you can put a 2.0 millimeter hex driver in the tip. Make sure you get those, otherwise you're not going to be able to adjust droop very easily when it's on the car. And for this bag, they're the only screws that are that size as well, so you just make sure you pick the right screws. And then just make sure you thread these in straight. And for now, I just go all the way in, but this is a setting that you will want to change per the setup sheet later. All right, so we got the Droop screws in, and the next thing I like to do is let's put these sway bar links together. And we'll put them on the arms, and we'll stick these arms on the car. Okay, so to put these guys together, I use these ball-end pliers. You just kind of pull on this a little and squeeze on the pliers until they pop in. And if you push too hard, they'll go all the way through. So that's kind of why I like to pull on the plastic as well. It kind of helps facilitate that being a little easier. Okay, and then we'll put these bigger ones in. So then we will stick these in like so, and this thing points to the front of the car where the shocks connect. So just make sure you get that right. And then we take these longer screws to secure it. And yeah, there we go. Need to get my power driver out. Have all my tools put away because yesterday I was out racing up at Skagit Raceway. That was a good time. We've gotten lucky the last 2 races and been able to squeeze those in. Bring in this gearbox here and we're gonna start putting the C and D block on, or sorry, the A and B were in the front, so A and B block. And again, I'm not following, actually for the B block, I am following the kit setup, which is that it's the center dot. And just, it's important to realize that there's this recess on this side and not on that side, so these pills actually sit into that recess. So make sure you put those in correctly. And they should sit flush if you push them in all the way. So like I'm using the end of the table again just to make sure these go in all the way. So you can see there, they sit pretty flush and then they stick out the opposite end. And so there's the center dots on the B block. The A block, I am doing these little angled ones. Angled ones here. And up in the corner. Yep, just making sure I don't have a dyslexic moment here. We'll push those in. So yeah, there's the A block that I'm doing up in the corner. So then you'll put the B block on using these screws. Be a little tricky to hold this thing. Oof. Yeah. Let's put this on the table. There we go. That's way easier. Put it on the table. Start both of these by hand. Alright, I couldn't take it anymore, so I got the power driver here, but get them started by hand. And then you can drive them in. And I like to finish them off again by hand, just so I know they're tight and I don't over tighten them and strip any. I mean, these bigger screws, it's harder to strip things, but still I like to do it that way. So then you put, yeah, those are nice. I really like these bushing inserts in the arms. They just make everything so much smoother and feels like they would be more durable too. And I really like them. Okay, so we stick those in there and then we can line up. Hopefully, yeah, you can see that. You can line this up, push it all together. And then this final screw goes right through the center here. And I just gotta push that up a little bit. Yeah, there we go, to align that hole better. power. Those are some tight fitting screws. Yeah, so we're good to go. And then the final thing I like to do is, yeah, this has a little bit of gap just like the back. You can shim that if it really bothers you. I will probably run it this way. It's a little bit of looseness. I mean, the main thing is you want the arms to be really free, which these ones are very free. Oh, and you know, I forgot to put the bumper on. Should have went on before that screw. You know, I think this bumper, it actually keys into the chassis. So I'll probably put that on once this goes on the chassis anyway. But I'll have to take that screw out to do that. So now the final step here is putting in the sway bars. And push these bearings in. Like so. And the kit setup, the kit comes with a 2.1. And the setup I'm using, I'm going to use a 2.2. And so the sway bar set for that is right here. And then I'm also, you know, the kit comes with these plastic sway bar collars, and I'm going to use these aluminum ones. And that aluminum collar is right there. Yeah, I found that the plastic collars, they're not super durable. And so I am not even going to use those. We're going to go straight to these aluminum ones. And so what you want to do is you want to feed this bar through these bearings and then feed this in to the bearing. And then you'll want to do the same to the other side. And you put these little set screws in to hold it all together, and definitely you want to thread lock these set screws. It doesn't take a ton of thread lock, but you just want to put some in there. And you know, it's really critical to get these sway bars in so that it's centered. I need to put this other one on to really do that. And then the other part that's critical is these those set screws are the same clocking for both of them, because if they're not, then that sway bar sits in there at an angle. It does really weird things. So I'm gonna flip this thing around so I can see it better. I know it's gonna be harder for you guys to see it. And it looks like I guessed pretty darn good on the height. Actually, before I do this, I think I'm gonna hook these up, because then it'll hold it somewhat level for me. And when you put these outer ones on, you want the bar to be flush with the end of the nut, or the end of this. You want them to be flush right here, coming out. And it's pretty much to where this thing, we kind of want to target this thing to be almost straight up and down when the arms are level. So yeah, let's put these on, and then I'll finish this other apart, I think it'll make it a little easier to get everything leveled. Okay, I feel like this might be better if I tweak it back that way just a little bit so it's not easier to take off when the shock is on. And then we got this final screw, more thread lock. If you're using the kit plastic collars and you don't need thread lock out here, you don't want to put thread lock into plastic. But if you're using these aftermarket ones I'm using, then definitely thread lock them or they will come loose. And if you're using the plastic ones, they're probably going to come loose anyway, because yeah, my experience is they're not super reliable. All right, so you can see now, once you get the sway bar on, you want to test everything, and yeah, everything's working good on this. And so that is bag G. I hope you found this build useful. Don't forget about this bumper. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and tune in for the next one.